This Sunday, we observe the fast of Tisha B'Av. Tomorrow night, Motzei Shabbos, the lights in shul will be dimmed, the parochas removed. We will take off our shoes and sit on the floor like mourners. We will read Eicha, Yirmiyahu's sorrowful lament over the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. We will recite Kinos, mourning the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, the devastation of our Holy Land, Eretz Yisrael, and the many tragedies and hardships of our long exile. Tisha B'Av marks the destruction of both Batei Mikdash and the beginning of our exile to distant lands. On this day, Nebuchadnezzar destroyed the first Beis HaMikdash, sending the Jews into Bavel. Titus destroyed the second Beis HaMikdash, scattering the Jews across the globe. Ben Shimon ben Gamliel and Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai tried political efforts to save the Jewish people. Others, like Yochanan of Gush Chalav and Elazar ben Giora, sought to liberate the land through resistance. But Rome brought Jewish sovereignty to an end with the Korban. After the Korban, some wanted to continue lobbying political means like Rabbi Yeshua and other Tanaim. But Rabbi Akiva and his supporters took a different path, backing Bar Kokhba in armed rebellion. The final blow, also on Tisha B'Av, was the fall of Beitar. The sages teach that the first Beis HaMikdash fell due to idol worship, immorality, and murder. But the second Beis HaMikdash was destroyed due to baseless hatred, sinas chinam, and the divisions within our nation. The sages emphasized that the Churban wasn't just the result of foreign empires like Bavel and Rome, but of internal failures that led to our own undoing. Even the date of Tisha B'Av wasn't chosen by our enemies. It was sealed by our ancestors. The day had the potential to be one of joy. When the Meraglim in Moshe's time brought back a report that the land Hashem promised was good and fruitful, it should have sparked celebration. Instead, they heard the word of the Meraglim, Ephes, but. The land is great, but we will not be able to conquer it. That single word shifted everything. That Ephes sowed doubt and despair and transformed the day into one of sadness and weeping for generations. Had that generation, the one that stood at Har Sinai, chosen to enter the land and build the Beis HaMikdash, there would have been no destruction, no gullus. Just as Moshe's Torah endures forever, so too the Beis HaMikdash and Jewish sovereignty would have endured. Because of that word Ephes, gullus began. That word has chained us to the exile throughout history. The Jewish people were shocked by the tragedies they experienced. They cried out, Eicha, how could such misfortune happen to us? Through centuries of exile, we've continued to ask, Eicha, how have we remained in captivity? Eicha, how can we survive as a nation? Our suffering cries out, Eicha, how could we, a people of wisdom, have been deceived and led astray? The verse in Eicha states, I called to my lovers, but they betrayed me. The Midrash explains this refers to false prophets who led us to idol worship, to false messiahs, and it also refers to those who spread foreign ideologies, materialism, assimilation, and other isms that drew us from our identity, leading us from one exile to another. Even the righteous, the true prophets, are criticized for urging us to fulfill mitzvahs like Trumas and Masros while living in exile. They lulled us into believing that exile was normal, that it could be home, but there are no Trumas and Masros in exile. Real Jewish life cannot exist in Gullus. One of the most moving midrashim in Eicha Rabbah tells the story of a Jewish farmer plowing his field when one of his oxen made a strange sound. An Arab passing by asked the farmer who he was. I'm a Jew, he replied. The Arab told him to release his ox and let go of the plow, for the Beis HaMikdash has been destroyed. The farmer asked how he knew. The Arab said it was from the ox's cry. As they spoke, the ox cried again. The Arab said, now harness your ox again. The Redeemer of the Jews, Mashiach, has been born. The Jew asked for Mashiach's name, his father's name, and where he could be found. The Arab replied, his name is Menachem, his father is Chizkiah, and he is in Beis Lechem in Judea. The man sold his ox and plow and became a peddler of children's shoes, traveling from place to place searching for Mashiach until he arrived in Beis Lechem. All the women of the town came out to buy except one, Menachem's mother. He went and asked her, why didn't she come? She said, "My son was born on an inauspicious day, the day the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed." He told her, "We believe that the Beis Hamikdash will be rebuilt. Take the clothing that I am selling, and I'll return later for payment in a few days." When he came back, he asked how the child was. She said, "Didn't I tell you? He was born at a bad time. Winds and storms came and took him away." The Jew answered, "Just as the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed through him, so too it will be rebuilt through him." This story is more than folklore. It's a powerful allegory for Jewish history. The plow represents groundedness, rootedness in the land of Israel and in Torah. With the Churban, we lost that foundation. The farmer becomes a peddler, wandering, vulnerable, unsure. He no longer builds, he survives. This reflects our exile. We exchange productivity and permanence for transience. We no longer worked the soil of Eretz Yisrael. We wandered from place to place, seeking protection, seeking hope. Yet even in his wandering, the Jew never stops searching. He believes in the child, even though he never sees him. He gives clothing, spiritual preparation, and promises to return. This is the enduring faith of Am Yisrael, that Mashiach exists, even if we don't see him. The Midrash tells us that storms carry the child away. Mashiach was born, the potential was there, but the chaos of history, the confusion of exile hid him from us. This teaches us a profound truth. Geula isn't absent, it's hidden. Mashiach isn't delayed because of Hashem, he's delayed because of us. Disunity, baseless hatred, assimilation, spiritual sleep, these are the winds that keep him from view. In recent times, something extraordinary happened. After nearly 2 millennia, the Jewish people began to return to the plow, quite literally. Swamps were drained, trees planted, roads built, and the land resettled. Actions that echo the message of the Midrash. Redemption doesn't come through wandering, but through building. For the first time in centuries, we were no longer searching for Mashiach. We are preparing a home for him. Perhaps if the Jew hadn't given up his plow for peddling, he would have found Mashiach sooner. The Midrash in the introduction to HaRav says there is an echo to Echa, a reply of Ayeka. The Jew cries out, "Echa, where are you, Hashem?" And Hashem answers, "Ayeka, where are you?" Just as Hashem asked of Adam Arishon in Gan Eden. This is the ultimate question. Redemption is not only about what Hashem will do, it's about what we will do. Will we stop wandering? Will we return to the plow, to rootedness, to Torah, to community, to the land? Will we prepare garments for Mashiach even if we don't yet see him? Tisha B'Av is not just a day of mourning. It is the most honest day of the year. We confront our failures, our brokenness, our exile, but through tears, we also glimpse hope. The Midrash reminds us Mashiach was born on this day. That means that every Tisha B'Av, the potential for redemption is reborn within us, but only if we hear Hashem's question, Ayeka, where are you? Now is the time of Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. Renew our days as in the beginning, like with Adam. The question is, Ayeka, where are you, Jewish people? You no longer need to hide. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Be proud to be a Jew. Stop wandering and come home. Let us respond, we are here. We are returning. We are rebuilding. We are preparing the garments for Menachem, son of Chizkiah. Instead of Eicha Yashva Badad, how has Yerushalayim become desolate? The verse of Yisrael shall dwell in safety, Yaakov in serenity, in a land of grain and wine, under heavens dripping with dew, should materialize very soon. And Tisha B'Av will no longer be a day of mourning, but rather one of great joy. Shabbat Shalom.